Hello coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to our channel World Rare Coins, where we discover the fascinating world of rare coins and their incredible value. From hidden gems that could be worth a fortune to little-known coins with a rich history, we'll explore it all. So grab your magnifying glass and let's dive into today's exciting coin discovery. On top one today, we're diving into a coin that might be hiding in your collection or even your pocket. The United States 1-cent coin from 1944. This humble little penny might seem ordinary at first glance, but let me tell you, it has an extraordinary story to tell. Stick with us until the end, where we'll reveal just how much this little coin could be worth today. Before we jump into the coin's value, let's first take a quick look at the historical context of the year 1944. This was a time when the world was still embroiled in World War II, and the United States was doing everything it could to support the war effort. The economy was booming due to war production, and the government was doing its best to keep the financial system running smoothly. The year 1944 was particularly interesting for the U.S. Mint because of a shift in the materials used to produce coins. Due to wartime shortages of metals like copper, the composition of many coins changed, including the penny. This change played a huge role in the rarity and value of certain coins from this period. Now, let's get to the heart of today's story, the 1944 1-cent coin. Most of us are familiar with the classic copper pennies, but during the height of World War II, the U.S. Mint faced significant copper shortages. To conserve the metal for military purposes, the Mint began producing pennies out of steel instead of copper. However, the steel pennies of 1943 are much more famous for their rarity. But here's the interesting twist. In 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper to mint pennies. However, some steel 1944 pennies still made it into circulation. This is where the intrigue begins, because finding one of these steel 1944 pennies is like finding a hidden treasure. Let me tell you, finding a steel penny from 1944 is rare, very rare. These coins were supposed to be melted down and recycled after they were produced. But for some unknown reason, a small number of these steel pennies slipped through the cracks and ended up in circulation. That means if you come across a 1944 penny that looks different, shiny, silvery, and not the typical copper color, you could have a true gem on your hands. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1944 penny is one of these rare steel variants? First, take a good look at the coin's color. Steel pennies are much lighter in color compared to the usual copper pennies. A magnet will also give you a quick test. Steel coins are magnetic, whereas copper pennies are not. So, if your 1944 penny sticks to a magnet, you've likely struck gold. So, why are these 1944 steel pennies so valuable? As mentioned, most of the coins were scrapped and melted down, making the ones that survived extremely rare. Only a handful of these coins are believed to still be in circulation, and because of their rarity, they've become a holy grail for collectors. Moreover, these steel pennies aren't just rare, they're historic. A piece of American history from the middle of World War II, when the U.S. Mint was navigating metal shortages and trying to support the war effort. A coin that represents that period, especially one with such unique characteristics, holds tremendous appeal for numismatists and collectors alike. Now, let's talk about the moment you've been waiting for. How much could a 1944 steel penny be worth today? You might be shocked to hear that a single steel 1944 penny could be worth a small fortune. Depending on its condition, rarity, and any unique features, such as minting errors, it can fetch significant sums. Some near-perfect examples of these coins have been known to sell for anywhere between several $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, if you happen to have a high-grade 1944 steel penny, you could be sitting on a piece of history worth $77,000. So, how can you tell if your penny is a 1944 steel version? First, check the color. As we mentioned earlier, steel pennies have a much lighter color than copper ones. If it's magnetic, that's a good indication you have a steel penny. You can also look at the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. A D mint mark, for Denver, AS mint mark, for San Francisco, or a no mint mark, for Philadelphia, can all tell you more about where the coin was struck. However, to be 100% certain of the coin's authenticity, it's always best to have it evaluated by a professional numismatist or take it to a reputable coin dealer for an appraisal. The market for rare coins like the 1944 steel penny is always fluctuating. But right now, if you have one in exceptional condition, the value could be astronomical. There are even instances where these coins have sold for over $100,000 at auctions, making them some of the most coveted pennies in the world. So there you have it. If you've got a 1944 penny in your collection, or if you come across one in your pocket change, make sure to give it a second look. A 1944 steel penny could be worth a staggering $77,000. Who knew a small coin could hold such incredible value? On top two, we've got something special for you. A coin that might just be hidden in your collection or even in your spare change. The United States 1-cent coin from 1949. You might think, it's just a penny. How valuable could it really be? Well, hold on to your seats, because this small coin has a big secret. Stick around until the end of the video, where we'll reveal how much this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth today. Before we dive into the coin itself, let's take a quick look at the historical context of the year 1949. This was a post-World War II period in America, and the country was experiencing a time of prosperity and growth. The economy was recovering from the hardships of the war, and Americans were beginning to experience the comforts of peace and economic stability. The United States Mint was hard at work producing coins, and the 1949 penny was part of this process. While it might seem like just another year of penny production, this particular coin has a unique place in the world of coin collecting, especially for collectors who specialize in rare variations of U.S. currency. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1949 penny. If you take a look at the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has been a staple on the U.S. penny since 1909. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and is one of the most recognizable images on any American coin. The reverse side features a simple, yet iconic design. A pair of wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design, also known as the wheat ears reverse, was in use from 1909 to 1958 and is loved by collectors for its vintage appeal and timeless simplicity. So, why is the 1949 penny so valuable? The key lies in its rarity and condition. Most 1949 pennies were produced in large numbers, and a vast majority of them have since been worn out through circulation. However, like many other coins, the 1949 penny has some rare variants that can significantly increase its value. What makes this penny particularly special is the fact that there were two distinct mints that produced it, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia Mint produced the regular 1949 pennies, but the Denver Mint produced a small number of pennies with a unique feature, a mint mark D on the reverse side. Coins from the Denver Mint are typically rarer than those from the Philadelphia Mint, making them highly sought after. But the true treasure lies in a very specific version of the 1949 penny, the 1949S. The 1949S was minted at the San Francisco Mint, and only a limited number of these pennies were produced, making them incredibly rare. The 1949S penny is often the version that collectors and investors look for when they seek out the most valuable coins from this year. If you're lucky enough to have a 1949 penny, you might be wondering, how do I know if it's valuable? The condition of the coin is absolutely crucial. Coins that are well preserved in mint condition are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. The grading system for coins goes from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state, MS 70. A 1949 penny that is graded as MS 65 or higher, meaning it's in near-perfect condition, can fetch a much higher price than one with visible wear and damage. If you're lucky enough to find a 1949 penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. In fact, the higher the grade, the more the value increases. Uncirculated examples can be worth thousands of dollars, especially if they come from the San Francisco Mint. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Just how much is a 1949 penny worth? As we've discussed, the value depends heavily on the mint and condition of the coin. While most 1949 pennies are worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars, the rarest versions, especially those from the San Francisco Mint and in mint condition, can be worth a small fortune. If you happen to have a 1949S penny in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth thousands of dollars. But there's more. Coins with unique errors or features that make them stand out can push the value even higher. And now, for the big reveal. If you have a high-grade 1949S penny, one that's been graded MS 65 or higher, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $74,000. So, How can you tell if your 1949 penny is worth that much? Start by looking at the mint mark on the reverse side. If you see an S near the bottom of the coin, it could be the San Francisco mint variety that we're talking about. Next, check the condition of the coin. If it's in pristine, uncirculated condition with no major signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, it's worth getting it graded by a professional coin grading service. This will give you an official valuation and help you determine just how much your coin could fetch on the market.sto. There you have it. The 1949 penny, especially the 1949 S version, is a rare and highly sought-after treasure in the world of coin collecting. If you have one of these coins in your collection, it could be worth a fortune, $74,000 to be exact. On top 3, we've got a special treat for you. A coin that's been around for decades but could still be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1957. Now, you might think, it's just another penny, right? Well, you couldn't be more wrong. While this coin might seem like just another piece of American history, its rarity and condition can make it incredibly valuable. Stick with us until the end of this video, where we'll reveal just how much a 1957 penny could be worth today. Before we dive into the coin specifics, let's take a quick trip back to 1957. This was a year when the United States was enjoying a time of economic growth and prosperity following World War II. The 1950s were a period of great innovation, cultural change, and technological advances. America was solidifying its place as a global superpower, and the coinage of this era reflects that. The 1957 penny came at a time when the U.S. Mint had already been producing pennies for nearly 50 years with the same design. Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the iconic wheat stalks on the back. This design, known as the wheat ears reverse, was used from 1909 until 1958. Little did people know that these simple coins would go on to become some of the most valuable in the future. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1957 penny. On the obverse side, you'll find a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by the renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. This iconic image of Lincoln has been featured on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable faces on any currency. The reverse side features 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The wheat design, which gives the coin its wheat penny nickname, was in use until 1958 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. These wheat pennies are beloved by collectors for their vintage appeal and represent a time when America's coinage reflected its agricultural roots. Why is the 1957 penny so valuable? The key to its worth lies in its rarity and condition. While most 1957 pennies were produced in large quantities, certain variants stand out among collectors for their unique characteristics. First, let's talk about mint marks. The 1957 penny was minted at several locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Most of the 1957 pennies were minted at Philadelphia, which means that Denver and San Francisco varieties are relatively rarer. However, the true treasure lies in the high-grade examples of the 1957 S penny. These San Francisco minted pennies are highly sought after because they were produced in smaller quantities than their Philadelphia counterparts. And if you happen to have a 1957 S penny in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. When it comes to the 1957 penny, condition is everything. A well-preserved coin, especially one that has never been in circulation, can command much higher prices than a worn or heavily circulated example. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS, 70. A 1957 penny that is graded MS, 65 or higher, meaning it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, can be worth a lot more than you'd expect. In fact, the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Proof versions of the 1957 penny, which were made specifically for collectors, can also be worth more because they were produced with special care to ensure they were flawless. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is the 1957 penny worth? If you have a regular 1957 penny, it's likely worth just a few cents. However, if you have a 1957 S penny in mint condition, especially one that's graded MS 65 or higher, you could be sitting on a gold mine. In fact, the value of a well-preserved 1957 S penny can range anywhere from a few $100s to thousands of dollars depending on its exact condition and the market. But here's the real kicker. A 1957 S penny in mint condition could be worth $70,000. So, how can you tell if your 1957 penny is one of these rare treasures? First, check for the mint mark on the reverse side. If you see an S near the bottom of the coin, it's a San Francisco mint penny, and that's a good start. Next, assess the condition of the coin. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. A coin in excellent condition with minimal signs of circulation is what you're looking for. If you're unsure about the grading of your coin, it's worth getting it graded by a professional coin grading service to determine its value accurately. What makes the 1957 penny so appealing to collectors? It's not just about the value. It's about the historical significance. The 1957 penny represents a pivotal moment in American history, capturing the post-World War II era when the country was thriving. It also marks the final years of the wheat ears reverse, a design that would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This connection to American history, combined with its rarity and unique characteristics, makes the 1957 penny a coin that collectors actively seek. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just getting started, having a piece of American coinage like this can make your collection truly special. So, there you have it. The 1957 penny may seem like a small, simple coin, but it can be worth a fortune if you have the right version in the right condition. If you're lucky enough to own a 1957 S penny in mint condition, you could be holding a coin worth a staggering $70,000. On top 4, we've got a coin that might just be hidden in your collection or possibly even in your loose change. The United States 1-cent coin from 1975. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, but don't be fooled. This seemingly ordinary coin has a special story to tell and might be worth a whole lot more than you think. Stick with us until the end of this video, where we'll reveal exactly how much this 1975 penny could be worth today. Trust us, you'll want to hear this. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1975 penny, let's take a quick look at the 1970s in America. This was a decade of great change and challenge for the United States. The 1970s marked a time of economic turbulence, including the oil crisis, inflation, and the end of the Vietnam War. It was also a decade that saw major strides in civil rights, the space race, and technological innovation. Coinage from this era, especially pennies, reflects a time when the U.S. Mint was actively producing coins in large numbers to keep up with the country's growing population and economic changes. However, what makes the 1975 penny stand out is not just the era it was minted in, but some unique features and rarities that make this coin highly desirable for collectors. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1975 penny. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This iconic portrait has graced the penny since 1909 and remains one of the most recognizable images on any U.S. coin. On the reverse side, the coin features the famous wheat stalks design, which was used from 1909 to 1958. However, in 1959, the U.S. Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design, which featured the Lincoln Memorial Building, reflecting the nation's growing respect for the great leader. By 1975, this memorial design was in full swing, making it a hallmark of post-1950s pennies. So, while the design is familiar, there's something extraordinary about this particular 1975 penny, especially when you consider its rarity and how certain versions have become highly collectible. So why is the 1975 penny so valuable? While many pennies from this era are common and worth just 1 cent, the 1975 penny stands out due to some key factors. Mint mark variations. Like most U.S. coins, the 1975 penny was produced at multiple mints. The primary locations were the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S. While the Philadelphia and Denver versions are relatively common, the San Francisco versions can be rarer and more valuable, especially if they are in pristine condition. Proof coins. One of the most valuable versions of the 1975 penny is the 1975 S proof penny. Proof coins are special editions made specifically for collectors. They are struck multiple times to achieve a high-quality, mirror-like finish and are often packaged in special sets. 1975 S proof pennies are highly sought after due to their limited production and flawless appearance. Errors and minting variations. Like with many coins, the 1975 penny also features some minting errors that can make it worth much more than its face value. Error coins are highly prized by collectors because they are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. Some 1975 pennies have been discovered with double dies or other subtle minting mistakes that add extra value. When it comes to the value of your 1975 penny, condition is crucial. The better the condition of the coin, the more it's worth. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS 70. A 1975 penny that's been heavily circulated with scratches, dents, or discoloration will be valued much lower than one that's been carefully preserved in mint condition. If your penny looks almost brand new with no visible signs of wear, it could be worth a lot more. The highest grade 1975 pennies, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, could fetch much higher prices at auctions or from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin in exceptional condition. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the 1975 penny. Most pennies from this year are worth just their face value, 1 cent. However, when you consider rarity, mint variations, and the condition of your coin, the value can skyrocket. If you happen to have a 1975 S-proof penny in mint condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth hundreds of dollars. But the real treasure lies in the rarer minting errors and highly graded versions of this coin. And now for the big reveal. If you own a high-grade 1975 S penny, especially one with a minting error or in pristine condition, it could be worth an astounding $65,000. So, how can you tell if your 1975 penny is worth a fortune? Start by looking at the mint mark. If you see an S on the reverse side, you have a San Francisco minted penny, which is typically rarer than the others. Next, inspect the condition of your coin. If it looks like it was just minted yesterday, no wear, scratches, or discoloration, it could be a valuable find. If you think you've got a high-grade coin or a proof coin, you should have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. That way, you can accurately determine its value. There you have it, the 1975 penny. While it might seem like just another coin from the past, could be worth a lot more than you think. If you have a San Francisco Mint penny in mint condition or one with a minting error, you could be sitting on a treasure worth $65,000. On top 5, we're talking about the 1978 1-cent coin. A seemingly ordinary penny, but don't be fooled. This little coin might just be sitting in your collection or loose change, ready to make you a small fortune. Stick around because, by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this 1978 penny could be worth today. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1978 penny, let's take a quick look at the year itself. The 1970s were a time of economic turbulence and transformation for the United States. With inflation, the oil crisis, and political unrest, the decade was filled with challenges. But it was also a time of great innovation, with the space race winding down and technological advances changing the way people lived. During this period, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins to keep up with the growing demand for currency. In fact, the 1978 penny was part of a significant push to modernize and stabilize the U.S. economy. But why should the 1978 penny be any more special than the other pennies circulating at the time? Well, let's dive into the details that could make this coin a hidden treasure. First, let's take a look at the design of the 1978 penny. On the obverse, front, side of the coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This image of Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909 and remains one of the most iconic and enduring symbols in American coinage. On the reverse side of the coin, we have the famous Lincoln Memorial, a design that has been part of the penny since 1959. The memorial, located in Washington, D.C., is a tribute to the 16th President of the United States, and it represents the unity of the country and the enduring legacy of Lincoln himself. It's a beautiful design, yes, but there's more to the 1978 penny than just looks. Let's talk about what really makes it special and potentially valuable. You may be wondering, what makes the 1978 penny so valuable? Here's the thing. While there were billions of 1978 pennies minted, there are some rarity factors that make certain examples of this coin more desirable to collectors and potentially worth a lot of money. Let's break it down. Mint mark variations. The 1978 penny was minted in multiple locations across the United States. There's the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S. While the Philadelphia and Denver coins are fairly common, the San Francisco minted pennies, especially those in proof condition, are rarer and more sought after by collectors. Proof coins. The 1978 proof penny was specially struck for collectors and had a much higher level of detail compared to regular circulating coins. These proof coins were produced with a special process that gives them a shiny, mirror-like finish and makes them much more pristine than the coins you would find in everyday circulation. The 1978 proof penny is rare and can be worth significantly more than a standard penny. Mint errors. As with many coins, minting errors occur from time to time, and these mistakes are often worth much more than the regular issue. The 1978 penny has been known to have mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and other flaws that make these coins unique. If you happen to have a 1978 penny with any kind of noticeable minting error, it could be worth a lot more than a regular penny. Condition. As with all coins, the condition of your 1978 penny plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved with minimal wear and no scratches or discoloration can be worth much more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. In fact, coins that are graded as uncirculated or mint state can fetch much higher prices at auctions or in private sales. Now, let's talk about grading. If you think your 1978 penny might be worth more than just 1 cent, it's important to know how to grade it. Coin grading is based on how much wear and tear the coin has experienced over time. The higher the grade, the higher the coin's value. Grading is done on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS, 70 being a perfect coin with no visible imperfections. A 1978 penny that's in MS, 65 or higher could be worth several $100s, while an error coin with a high grade can be worth even more. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value of the 1978 penny. If you have a regular 1978 penny that's been circulating and has some wear and tear, then it's worth just its face value, 1 cent. However, if you've got a high-grade 1978 proof penny, or even better, a minting error coin, you could be sitting on a much more valuable treasure. And here's the big reveal. A high-grade 1978 proof penny or a rare minting error coin could be worth $60,000. So, how do you know if your 1978 penny is worth a small fortune? First, check for the mint mark on the reverse side. If it has an S, you're looking at a San Francisco Mint coin, which could be worth more, especially in proof condition. Next, look closely at the condition of the coin. Is it shiny and flawless, or does it show signs of wear? If it looks like it's been well preserved, it could be a valuable find. Finally, keep an eye out for minting errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, and other mistakes can make a 1978 penny incredibly valuable. If you suspect you have a coin with a minting error, consider having it professionally graded. So, there you have it. The 1978 penny might look like just another penny in your collection, but with the right mint mark, condition, and potential minting errors, it could be worth a stunning $60,000. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our future coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!